Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Arnold. And today we'll be doing is a continuation of list. So if you want to see the beginning, you have to move to the previous video. I'll show you a thumbnail to the previous one. It's about list. So today we're going to be looking at loops, looping through a list. Yeah, and also we'll be looking at numerical list, statistics, and yeah.
Yep.
So let's get started. So uh, first of all, loops help us. The for loop allows you to perform action on every item in a list, regardless of the length, no matter how long it is. So let's see some examples. And also, we have to consider the syntax. Yeah,
Huh.
we use colon and indent. Yeah, we indent the lines we want to repeat. So basically, we will have a look of it. If we have indentation, Python uses white space to define blocks of code. Forgetting to indent or indenting unnecessarily causes error. So basically, unlike other programming languages, maybe like JavaScript, whereby we use curly braces to encapsulate the content of a for loop
That's
or
correct.
yeah, in Python, it's basically naked. So what you can use is by using the colon to tell the code that we are now inside the for loop. So let's copy this and we will have it inside our shell. That is our REPL. So let's try that in here. Okay. So basically what we have here is a list of magicians. We have Alice, we have David, we have Carolina. So we can use the for loop to iterate through each and every one's name. We have magician and we have magicians. Now this magician here, the name has to tally with a specific list you want to classify. And the word magician, it could be any variable name, but it has to tally with what you'll be using in the for loop to print out as expected. Now we also have the f of string as we spoke of in chapter 2. Yeah, in chapter 3. And it allows us to put in this. So what the for loop is going to do, because it has items in it, it's going to start to print out word by word. So let's run the code to see. Let's run it to see. So, oh yeah, this is what we have over here. We can see the output of it. So Alice was a great Alice. That was a great trick. Then it goes to the next one because there's still a name in there. Then iterate. It goes to David. That was a great trick. Then it goes to Carolina. That was a great trick. And then after it's done, there's nothing else. It moves out of the for loop. And then yeah. So that is what happens in the for loop. So let's do this one more time. Okay. But I think it would be nice to use an IDE or a text editor because our shell limits us to using one line at a time. So let's use VS Code for this one. The spelling of this, and let's pop it into. Let's use this one. We're on chapter 4, which is on list. So let's say let's create an empty file, and let's call it practice. So we'll be using this. Let me half the screen so we can equally see both sides in Gemini. So This is what we have. But this is not going together. Let me arrange this nicely. Okay, sorry. Let me do this like this. The bottom. Let's take it back this way. So that in case I run the code, I can be able to see it at the bottom.
Yeah.
So let's run. So now we can see down here in our terminal, it says Alice, that was a great trick. David, that was a great trick. And Caroline, that was a great trick. And also we can see the last line here. Thank you, everyone. That comes later afterward. So that is a for loop. It helps us to iterate in our list. Yeah. So we mustn't forget the colon, because eliminating the colon here is going to break our code. So we have to be very careful about it. Sometimes in debugging, you may go through a long list, a long code. You wouldn't know what to do. Just
Mhm.
to realize you eliminated the colon. Yeah. And also you must also be careful about the spaces in front here. The space here is just equal to like 4 space bars. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, that is exactly as one tab. So that is it. And those don't forget to indent or yeah, indent it unnecessarily. If I should also give an extra tab here, you see, it gives me a red line. Luckily, I have an extension that helps me fix that. But otherwise, if you don't have that, is your code is gonna break. Let's try to run it to see what's gonna happen. Okay. Well, nothing. Let me see. Let's go down to see. Let's give it in. Is this still acceptable? Let's run this code. Okay. But remember PEP 8, it tells us about nice proper syntax of doing that. And then the best practice is to just give it a nice tab here. That's fine. And you don't have to put in unnecessary spacing. But depriving it of more space like this, let's see what's going to happen. Let's run this code. Okay, it still runs all right, but it's still not the best practice. So the best standard way of doing it to make sure your code looks very formal to everyone else. Let's try to put it in one tab or 4 space bars. That'll be fine. Yeah, but eliminating it completely is going to cause problems because there's nothing in our for loop now. We are now outside the scope of the for loop. So put it in tab will do the trick for us. Okay. So now let's look at numerical lists and statistics. Okay, Python provides built-in tools to generate and analyze lists of sets of numbers. Okay, we have range, which is also a built-in tool. Yeah. So using range, it helps us to, you don't have to type in the list of all of this that I've highlighted over here. We just put in this. In case there are like 100 or 1 million item numbers in the list, you don't have to type in one by one. You just put in this range method and you specify where to start, where to end, and this we have the third parameter, which is going to be the step. That means how many steps do you want to jump, how many skips do you want to jump when counting in, on iterate, when putting in the numbers. So this generate numbers to from start up to uh, but not including, yeah. So what this is saying here is that if you start from 2 and you want to print, it's going to end up at 10. It's not going to include the last one here. So we can
Yeah.
try it out in our terminal and we'll see how it looks. Yeah. And we have the step which is 2. So it's going to count, it's going to start from 2 because we have 2 here. Then it's going to skip to another 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You see, now 11 is not there because we jumping only two iterations. Yeah. So now we can say digits. Simple stats is like digits, and over here we have special methods to get the minimum. Instead of using a for loop to search through the minimum, two characters at a time, you can use the minimum. We have min, we have sum, which is going to sum up everything in your list for you. And yeah, so those are the statistics. It helps you to do all of those mathematical operations without cracking your brain. Let's copy this and try to paste it in here to see how it works. And let's run our code. And we can see the outcome here. You see, these are digits. What is the minimum? We all see that 1 is the minimum. So it prints out 1 over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we can see in our digits over here, it prints out what is our maximum digit over here. It says 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the sum. It's the sum of all of them together.
Yes, correct. Yes,
1
correct.
plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, it adds up everything for us. But in case we want to see the maximum, we can use the max. So we print max, and it's going to show us our maximum, which is 5. Let's run this to see. Let's look in the terminal. Okay, let's run with it. So we can see that no, the second one here, that is our maximum. Okay, so that is what it's talking about. That's and we have list comprehension. So comprehension is more like is a literals, whereby we can have a whole for loop, but you write it in one single line. Well, this is quite cumbersome for other people to understand. So remember our Zen of Python. You can keep it simple. You can try to use just a normal for loop so everyone can easily understand. But it's there's no harm in cramming this. It's syntax. That's fine. So
Yes,
this
correct.
basically what this does is it creates a variable called value, and it's going to iterate through all of this, using the for loop. So it's going to keep checking. So this is more like what it does here is the value that you put that is going to go through is going to start from 1 to all the way to 10. Now what it's going to do is it's going to multiply each and every one by 2. It's going to multiply it by 2. So what you're going to see in there is like 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. So all the way up is like multiples of 2. So let's copy that code and let's see, just see the output of it. Let's do this. So now it's the multiples of 2. Let's see in our terminal. Let's run this way. No, we haven't printed it out yet. Let's print it out. Okay, let's print square. We must also consider the spelling because that's very important. And let's
Yeah.
print that. So now we can see. What does it do? Okay, it starts from 1 and ends at 10 because there are 10 of them in here. We have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Of course, there are 10 of them. It doesn't include that one, that 11. So there are not going to be 11 of them. So what it does is what the value is, the current value. It's squares. It takes it. It doesn't multiply by 2. Sorry, I said multiply at first. What it does is raised to the power 2. Yeah. So it's raised to the power 2. So 1 to the power 2 is 1. 2 to the power 2 is 4. 3 to the power 2 is, so it's more like um any number raised to the power 2, then it prints out the value over here for you. So that's a nice way. So, but this could be, quite complicated for, just keep things simple and write a for loop. That's also fine. But it's also nice to use this as well. It's also good. It keeps the
Yeah.
code cute. Yeah. So we have slicing, slices and copying. So yeah, a slice is a specific group of items from a list. Yeah, slicing use start and stop. So when you're slicing, you can show where to start slicing and where to stop slicing. Yes. Omitting the start
Mhm.
will automatically be 0. So you're gonna start from the beginning, and omitting stop goes all the way to the end. So basically, if you should put in something like this, you might end up having the whole list. So, but actually, you've copied the entire thing. Let's have a look in this example here. We copy this and paste it in here. So we can see, okay. So what we have here is, okay. So let's see. So we have players. We have Charles. We have um, Martina. We have Michael. We have Florence. So we're gonna start to print all of them. We don't have the first one, so it's gonna default to 0. So we're gonna have Charles. We're gonna have um, Martina. We're gonna have Michael. We're gonna have, so this is gonna be, let's run the code to see what the outcome of it. So we can see over here, Charles, Martina, and Michael, excluding the third one. You see it? That number 3. So
Yeah.
that's 0, 1, 2, and the 3 it's not gonna be part of it. So that's what we have over there. Yeah. And yeah. So basically we've copied, but we haven't affected the, what you call it, original. Yeah, we haven't affected original, we just copied. But in case you don't want to use this syntax, we also have the copy method you could use. It's also going to do the same thing for you. And that's like layer, that's copy. It still does the same thing. It copies everything in there for you. So copying. To copy or to create an independent to create an independent copy of a list, use slice with no indices. So that's what it's saying over here. Bracket open, bracket close. Simply set this. So this is going to help you to copy, setting this makes both variables have the same list. So um, simply simply setting this list A equals list B makes both variables what point to the same list. So what we're doing here is we're pointing both list A and list B. We're pointing it to the same item in memory, in the position memory. So when you edit A, it might end up changing B because they are referring to that same item in the memory location. But to avoid that, you can use this dot copy. What do you call it? Yeah, the bracket open and the bracket close. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is it. And yeah. So we have this code over here. It gets the first 3 players, which is Charles, Martina, and Michael. correctly copies everything for you. So that is it. So we have key takeaway. The for loop, repeating code for every item in the list. Yes, the for loop helps you to repeat every item in the list. We have indentation, critical for defining what code belongs inside the loop. So if you should not put in that indentation in the previous example, you might end up not having what the code run nicely. For instance, in this example here, we can see the indentation here. If we should eliminate this, what is going to happen is that we wouldn't have the names print out nicely with this nice message over here. So indentation is very critical for defining what is going to be inside the loop. And we have range method. Yeah, is the best for generating sequential or sequences of numbers. Instead of typing in a long list of numbers, we can use a range to guide where to start, where to end, how many you want to step. Yes, and that is it. We have slicing. It allows you to work with subsets of data. Instead of having the whole set, you have subset like small chunks or small portions of it. Yeah. By specifying where to start, where to end, and where to step, how many you're gonna step through. Okay. And we have this here. This helps you to copy. Yeah. Copy a list and keep it independent. Independent here means it's not gonna affect the original copy. It's independent of the original. Yes, so that you can make changes to the copy without affecting the original. So that is what it's saying over here. So basically, that is it about lists. And thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you, Arnold, for being here with me. Yeah.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome.
Okay.